Welcome to my energy update. I've been flying by the seat of my pants. I am reporting live and direct from Avalon in the UK. I'm literally about 2 hours away from meeting my group. And oh my goodness, it's been so busy. And the promise to have lots of videos going out over August while I was in my group, it just was impossible. So anyway, there is a video coming out tomorrow, which is about Sekhmet and the Sphinx. And that's a really, really powerful video, Gospel of Marie, which really sets you up ready for the Lionsgate peak on the 8th. Which is like about my connection with Sekhmet and my connection with the Sphinx and how I understand it to be so. And there's some really juicy stuff in there. So have a look at that tomorrow when it comes out. That will set the stage for you to kind of work with the energies and frequencies of the up and coming peak of the Lionsgate. And so it's going to be a powerful month. I mean, it's Victorious August. That's what I've named it. And it really is that. I'm just feeling my lions roar like, we made it. And even if you don't think like you've made it, if you're feeling it, you're clearing it, period. If you're not feeling it and you're numb and you're just carrying on with life and you don't know what I'm talking about, then maybe maybe you didn't sign up for the New York timeline. You're probably not even watching these videos, so I don't even know why I said that. But anyway, I'm going to dive in with this energy update because, like I say, we got a lot going on, so it might be extra long, this video, but at least I got it to you guys before I deep dive into my Avalon energies, right? So the Lionsgate, right, as we know, I've said it in many videos, opened on the 26th, kind of really activated on the 28th of July. Then we're moving through it, peaks on the 8th, does not close on the 12th. I mean, that's really poppycock, as I would say. Because why close on the 12th? God, if you believe that, then you're really like only drinking half the juice, you know? You are going to integrate the energies of the Lionsgate all the way through August. You know, you might feel a sudden kind of like shift in intensity where it's not so full on, because on the 11th, this is actually quite interesting because the 12th, they say it closes. I don't believe it to be so. I think the energy runs very much so. But on the 11th, we are coming out of Mercury retrograde, and you are 11th, 12th, you know, you're going to maybe feel a bit of a big shift. I believe this is just what I feel is going to happen. It's been so full on and intense, and it's just been next level. Kind of question my sanity of actually doing something here in Avalon over this time because I'm just holding onto my chair, trying not to pop off. But we are going to feel that shift because as Mercury goes direct, and then of course the Lionsgate, you know, we peak on the 8th, it calms down a little bit by the 12th, but then we integrate. Then we're in the integration phase. And I know that I said in my last temple classroom, I wanted to share with you the 7 gates the 7 arrows of Sekhmet, and I just haven't had a chance to record it. And if I did, it would have been rushed. So I had a council with Sekhmet, and from what she says, it's better that it works, that information comes out after the 15th when I'm back in the land of the living, because it will be a very integrative energy to work with the 7 arrows of Sekhmet through what you've experienced thus far and ground it all. And very much so, we'll probably be working with the 7 arrows when we go into temple on the last Thursday of every month. In August, we'll be working with the 7 arrows. So going back to my energy update. So yeah, this is what Sekhmet's saying. It's all about courage to be exactly who you want to be. No more playing, no more hiding. Chiron went into retrograde, I think, and I've broken out in zits everywhere because it's all to do with the face. All of these planets, I mean, it really doesn't matter. Astrology, whatever. It's all just one big muchness, isn't it? Of just like the masks coming off, you're being challenged to be authentically you. And, you know, false prophets are going to fall, false governments are going to fall. Lies is all around us because it's the great reveal. Is this a bad thing? Absolutely not. It means that the energy is now revealing itself because all this shit has been lying dormant for lifetimes. So the fact that it's come up and it's absolute chaos out there, which means somebody switched the light on and we can now see it for what it really is, which means we can clear it. If you can identify it, name it, which is what I was talking about in my last temple classroom. If you can name it, then you have power over it. It doesn't have power over you. If you can't name something, then it just sits dormant and you don't even know it's there. You know what I mean? So if you can name it, you can clear it, right? So that's power over or power under. Decide where you are on that, you know? So truth, authenticity, and balance. And it's upholders of Ma'at. That's what this Lionsgate is all about. And that's what it's been about. All of these timelines running up to Lionsgate 2025. This Lionsgate, I was told a year ago, this like when we came out the last one, the next one's going to be significantly different, and it's going to hit a bit differently. It's going to hit a bit harder for good reason. So this is it, guys. This is it. And I feel it tremendously. And I look at the synchronicity and the timing of like me coming to Avalon now and just following the guidance and holding these groups. And I'm just like, yeah, I get it. I really get it, you know, and I've got lots that's happened in the last few days that I want to share with you. So just while I conclude on the Lionsgate, Sekhmet and everything like that, leave the chaos out there. You are such a master now. You know, you're an OG, man. You know what I mean? You can recognize this chaos, and when you're falling into it. I have been hit with chaos everywhere, and I'm like, no, I'm not getting involved in that. And interesting story, Wurial Hill, which is where Joseph Arimathea arrived on the lands of Avalon. Their myth says that it's called Wurial Hill because he was weary, because they travelled in the boat for a very, very long time. So when he walked down the banks and he actually got onto the land, he put his staff into the earth and said, this is where we'll build the abbey. This is where we're going to be. And as he put his staff into the earth, the holy thorn grew in that very spot. So I was walking up there yesterday, and sadly, like most places, Avebury, Stonehenge and all those places, there's just so many highways and cars. Life, modern, aggressive, abrasive life has gone all the way through these sacred sites. They're still there, but you can be there at these ancient monolithic stones and then just hearing cars, boom, boom, boom. And I had the same thing yesterday. I went to Avebury yesterday, and I was sat at a place called the Sanctuary, which is kind of like the preempt, the pre-circle, and it leads you all the way to the Avalon circle. So it used to be like a procession, very much like the temples in Egypt, Temple Karnak and Temple Luxor. So those of you coming to Egypt with me for the Sekhmet pilgrimage, it's the same vibe. We're doing a sacred walk from one place to another, you know, in silence and, you know, deep reflection as we leave one place to the other. So I'm seeing this popping up everywhere. Anyway, there I was, sat in this beautiful sanctuary on my own, thousands of years old this stone circle is, and just cars, woo, 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 woo. And I was like, wow, this is really challenging me. So I sat there and I thought, well, come into the calm, leave the chaos right there. And I had like this alchemy mastery moment and it was the same with Wurial Hill. That's why I brought it up, because it's the same thing. All the busy roads are right at the bottom of the hill, but then you have this massively holy, peaceful place, chaos and the calm. And I thought, here I am in this very, very quiet space overlooking the whole of Avalon. The view is unbelievable and the tour is there. And I was like, wow, turn around, cars, 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 cars. So really be conscious that you can say, nope, chaos over there. I'm going to maintain my peace in every single moment. It really is like that's the awareness that you're going to have. And when you have that, then of course you're going to coast, man. You're going to absolutely coast. So now my second point, the final stage of becoming. So now I want to bring this up a little bit because one can get very distracted right now. I can't even go on Instagram because I just can't. YouTube, I'm happy here, and it seems to be a much more high vibrational space than other platforms right now, just saying. But because there's just loads of shit on there, it's just like, I can't, you know? And, you know, when you feel it in your body and just like, oh, stop. Flicked on the other day, somebody was like, hey guys, do you realize the moon is not real? And I was like, oh no, are we doing that? The moon is not real. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. I just know what I feel. And I don't care about, like, you know, I'm not going to go and deep dive into that now because it's a distraction, you see? So if you watch these videos and you're deeply on your spiritual path and this person could be rapping about some really, really like, whoa, thought-provoking stuff, what's it going to do? It's going to get you to question everything. You're going to divert from living and being in your physical body and just celebrating life like Hathor has taught us. And you're going to suddenly divert over there and go, oh, hang on a minute, the moon's not real. What now? Whoa, shit. What are we going to do here? And then you're going to go off on a wormhole. Now you've been distracted from living because you're not even in the stars with that. You're just taken off track. So be really, really careful. I can't even read books anymore. Honestly, I want to, but I just can't. I sit there and I read the first paragraph and I'm like, because I was walking very, very quietly the other day and I thought to myself, I don't even have a need to know anymore. People say to me, did you know about this? And did you know about that? And this is right and this is wrong and this is a fact and that's a fact. I find it incredibly interesting and I'm a big researcher because I like it because it's fun, okay? But I'm not searching for anything. I just like to unpack things and go, interesting. Things that make you go, do you know what I mean? I love that. And it's just, we'll always have cool chats about, did you know? Possibly, maybe. That's cool, right? But like this whole thing of just like, you know, going off, taking you off in the wrong direction. I'm here to live, okay? And I'm here to really, really embody that now. And that means sitting cross-legged on the floor, eating good food with good friends. You know, it means like going off, like my gatherings now are probably going to turn into massive priest and priestess parties, bonfires going, Marie's on decks. I don't know. I see things changing. And what came to me the other day is I was like, and this isn't an ego thing. I was like, I have such a deep trust that what I know. What I don't know, I am very, very trusting that my higher self, Sekhmet, and all of my team will let me know when I need to know. And that's that. I don't have this big gaping hole now, like, oh, I need to find out about this, or don't know enough, do you know what I mean, or anything like that. It's like I everything I have is within me, and it will get called up and delivered to me. If it's important, the spirit will go, oh, look at that. And then I'll pay attention to it. Do you know what I mean? So that's the difference, right? I don't need to go and question whether Toth was, that's another thing, Toth was a dark being or not. He's not to me. He's not to me. Do you know what I mean? I get on really well with him. He's quite a nice guy, actually. Do you know what I mean? I get on really well with him. And it's like, whether the moon is real or not, I don't know. I just know that she brings my moon cycle every month. So I know that when I look up at her and I'm stood in her moon rays, kind of feels quite nice. So I'm just going to go with that. So just be very discerning is the word of really saying, do I need to know that? Do I need to go down there? Or do I just want to be? Because it's a hell of a lot weighty on your shoulders, because then you go and find out about that and it triggers this, we need to figure it out. No, you don't need to figure anything out. Just stay here. Just stay here and vibe and just chill, man. Just, kumbaya, So be aware of the distractions, okay? And stay in your center and just live, So now, next thing I wanted to share with you, which is a message for me as well as for all of you as well. You know that when I go through things, it's not just a message for me, it's for all of us, right? So I hope you're getting comfortable, because I was sat here, it's my little Airbnb, it's cute, isn't it? It's got all these bright colours and everything like that. Then my little teapot, it's cool. Anyway, I was sat here and I was preparing a lot of medicines for the Avalon group, right? And I was trying to get some stickers off a jar. So I was surrounded by medicine, blue lotus flowers everywhere. I was doing some stuff. And I had the knife, right? And I was trying to stab the, yeah, I know, like running with scissors, I know, trying to stab the sticker, and it slipped and I stabbed it full on, bah! I don't even know whether you can see it, because it doesn't even look much. You're going to be like, Marie, you're such a baby. But no, it's went in there. It's so bruised, but it's like a piercing spot. Can you see that there? There. It's right on the crease. I'm going to get into this now. Well, I hit a vein, I hit an artery, I hit a river of blood, and it just shot everywhere. Do you know what the first thing I did? It flipping hurt like hell. And when you go, oh, and you go white before you feel anything else, instead of grabbing a towel or a plaster, I ran to the kitchen to get a jar, and I squeezed the blood out. And I was like, come on, give me some blood. How mad is that? And as I was doing it, in the moment that I did it, I was like, it felt like one of those ancient blood vows, left hand, squeeze it out like the Vikings do and all the ancients, that's what it felt like. So there was so much blood. So I was just letting it pour. And like I say, it was hurting. And then bleeding stopped, got my little blood offering. And then I was like, what was that all about? So I'm going to share with you what it was all about, right? So first of all, Keredwin and Hecate came in very strongly, and a little bit of Nephthys, my dark mothers. I mean, Sekhmet's always behind me, just overseeing everything. But this was more of the work of Keredwin and Hecate, because they are witches. They are the keepers of magic. They are deeply connected to medicine. So if you're preparing medicine or anything like that, they're going to be very much around you. And my goodness, were they? And it's so funny because I had a cauldron on the table and everything. And they're the ones that were kind of like saying, right, okay, this is what's happening. And Nephthys is the keeper of the blood rites for the dead. So Nephthys has been kind of like on the outskirts quite a lot as well. So she's another dark mother who's very sort of like in the shadows, that's kind of with me, but she's always on the outskirts. I think she doesn't like all the drama. So she's there, but she's not here, but I'm aware of her. So anyway, this is what happened. So I thought, wow, that felt like I just unblocked a river, because I hit a vein, like an artery, and it was like, wow, that's a river. And it was just a piercing spot. I didn't even slice it, right? And the river is now open. That's what Hecate and Keredwin said. The river is now open. There is no going back. And I cried, not because it hurt now, because it was a release. And I cried and I cried and I cried. Now listen to this. Did a little bit of research, okay? Thumb line, okay? For you palm readers out there. Listen, I'm not an astrologist, not palm readers. If you want to chime in, please do. Thumb line, Mount of Venus, right? Root, physical embodiment. That line is where I cut. Powerful capacity to love. That's all of us. I have a powerful capacity to love. Family, divine authority. Now, it's very connected to your family line as well. Now, what's interesting is I came to London and I was feeling the grief again of my kids. I come to see my kids. I'm with them. Why am I still grieving them? They've left home already. But I went through this whole thing again. I felt myself holding on. So I feel that I opened up that vein. It's like, it was washing away everything that's come to pass to this date, right? But it was also an initiation, a deep, deep, deep initiation into the transformation, the deepest transformation from because blood is life force, right? And it was a Kundalini activation and awakening as well. And I mean, how this happens just before I'm going into my group, right? So that now leads me into the next thing, which is about support, right? Now, my life, and I know each and every one of you are going to relate to this, right? Unsupported. How's that, Marie? Because you've got a beautiful husband and that adores you. And I actually adore him, even though I've been giving him shit lately because he's not been around, but that's my mirror. But I do like to blame him for a little bit until I surrender and go, okay, soz, it's mine. So yeah, so anyway, I got my kids, I've got a full life, I've got so much in my life, but I always feel unsupported, especially in my mission, especially in my work, because I'm a one-man band, right? So when I do the tours and everything like that, I'm the one that cleans the toilets, cooks the food, does the invoicing, does the meetings, teaches. I've got many, many hats, and it's a lot, and I can do it though, and I'm doing it. So what's the fucking problem? Do you know what I mean? Stop whinging. But anyway, I feel this overwhelming sense of just like, I just can't do it on my own. And then these recent times of going from very, very, very intense initiations just on the run up to coming to the UK. Husband wasn't around. Haven't seen that guy for a good few weeks. Haven't seen him for so long. And he's coming to England. We're going to see each other. But what it did is it triggered this abandonment and anger and frustration and betrayal. And why aren't you here? You should be here. And actually, in truth, I got the same message at the same time he did, because we had a chat about it, and he said, do you not stop to realize, take a moment to think that this part of your journey, you were most definitely supposed to do it on your own? And I got the message that, Marie, it is not for your husband or your children or anything or anyone to fill that gaping hole inside of you. It is for you to reach for the depths of your soul, to connect with the highest and most expansive point of spirit, which means there's no separation. So this is your final initiation of coming into that. So that kind of like cutting of the hand, I was like, whoa, okay, so now we are really coming into like the cultivating our own inner support, strong foundations, all the rest of it. And this has been something unsupported all my life, right? And as starseeds, I think we just feel that, don't we? You know what I mean? And now this brings me on to the next and final point, okay? I'm skimming over the top with all of this because I could go on for hours with all of these subject matters, but I'm really building up to a crescendo here. So I believe our tribe is the 144,000. It's 144,000 is not a number, it's a frequency. We are the chosen. It's not a glorification label at all. In fact, it's probably one of the most flippin' intense roles that we could have taken on here on earth. And our job was to die and die and die again. And our job was to embody the Christ consciousness codes, right? Now, not everybody dies as much as we have, especially me. And all of those relentless hardships, right? They were purification processes. And they were getting you ready for this lies gate. This is what's happening. Many of the 144,000 got lost along the way. So even though they set off as the chosen, they didn't make it. And that's not a judgment. It's just like, some of them won't this lifetime. And they will come back maybe, I don't know. But I do know that there's a good majority of us that did. And this is now getting like, whew. See, every time I talk about this, I actually want to cry. And I spent 6 hours sobbing my eyes out trying to write and journal and channel write on all of this the other day. And it just makes me cry because I keep getting the words home. We're coming home. And that's a feeling and a level of safety I've never felt before. Because it doesn't involve my husband having my back. It doesn't involve my children feeling my happiness. It doesn't involve anything except me, myself, and I. And I'm not going to sit here and say, I've been through so much, but I fucking have. I know you have. We all have. And we've questioned because we thought we were forsaken, because we were like, this is too much, man. And yet we found each other. We waded through all the shit and we found each other. And here we are with each other. And we're walking through this timeline like like a boss, man. We really are. We're walking through it. And the more I go into myself soothing through choice of being this main supporter of myself, the more I'm unlocking. And there's this acceptance now of this, like basically when you're the 144,000, what you're going through is all of your chakras are being completely purified, trial by fire, every single one of them. That's why Sekhmet's with us, because we had such a big mission. Do you think Thoth was going to turn around to us and say, right, you OGs, you've got to go off into the world? Do you think he wasn't going to hook us up with someone like Sekhmet? We were like, well, we're not going without mom. Sekhmet's like, don't worry, I got your back. You know, that's why she's walking with us, you know? And when those chakras are all aligned and they've kind of gone through the burning Kundalini process, because Kundalini is not always a massive awakening. It's a slow burn. It can be. And I believe I've had a slow burn, and so have many of you. The 12 dimensions as well also come into a line. And I've actually, alignment, and I've actually received a Templar Stargate frequency upgrade, whatever you want to call it. And it's taken me all the way up to the 12 gates now. And that's going to happen naturally. I just like to fast track shit because I'm just like, right, let's get this done, man. So yeah, so that's basically where we're at. So this Lion's Gate, flip it out. Rest when you need to rest. Take a moment when you need to take a moment. But there's an overwhelming sense of joy and victoriousness. And I always said that this Avalon group that I was holding now, I said it a year ago, 6 months ago, that it was going to be a group of celebration. And that's exactly how I feel. We're celebrating. We're celebrating that we did it. We did it. So this is my kind of like very, very long energy update pre. I don't think I'm going to have a chance to have any fancy videos on the end of this. You know, all the editing and stuff. But you know what? The video's out there. So that's fine. So receive it. Embody it. And I'll see you on the other side when I get out of Avalon, and I think I'm going to have a lot to share with you. And just on that, you know what's going to happen when I get out of Avalon. I've already got my dates booked for 2026 and 2027. I'm here for the long haul, man. So those of you that want to get into Avalon, especially after I share the stories and the magic here, because this place is pure magic. Pure magic. But it's a smoke and mirrors. You've got to be ready to deep dive into medicine like this. It's not just dragons and fairies. It's others, well, even though dragons and fairies are quite fierce, but it's other stuff. And when you weave it with Egypt, like I say, I'm going to be coming out like with fire, because the next one is then Sekhmet pilgrimage in May. And we're going to be different people by the end of August because we're victorious. So with that, my lovelies, I'm going to leave it there because I've got to go. I've got a group to hold. Love you so much. And I will be with you in spirit, thinking of all of you. Tap it in. You're all around the world with me. And I'll see you when I get out. It sounds like I'm going into prison, but I'm not. I'm going into the underworld, man, to go and do some cool shit. And I will see you on the rebound, as it were. Peace and love, y'all. Peace.